Broadcasting from Silicon Valley, California, this is Conversations with Jennylyn.
Thank you for watching Conversations with Jennylyn. Today, I have two fascinating people to share with you. My first guest is Mr. llario Tariello, and he is Italian and coming and joining us from Italy. And my second guest is Liz, also known as Mama Liz Franklin. Liz is an author, a speaker, and a goodwill initiative. And she will tell us more about what she does. And llario is an innovator, an IT genius, as in Einstein type level of genius, and all of his other great skills and accomplishments, he will tell us, he will share with us. So welcome, Liz. Welcome, llario.
Thank you for having us, Jennylyn.
Thank you very much, Jennylyn.
Sure, it's my honor to have you both here. I love to spend time with people who are making an impact for the better in the world. And I know you both are playing your part in doing that. So Liz, why don't we start with you, and then we will get to the IT genius, Mr. Einstein llario.
Yeah, that one is the definition from Liz.
Yep.
She called me that.
Okay.
She used to call me that way.
So Liz, let's start with
ahead.
you.
Well, I'm Liz Franklin, Mama Liz, and I work mostly with children, youth, and teens to inspire them to greatness and then empower them in their time and success skills so that they can become great at young ages. And the way that we play into the COVID thing is we actually I wrote a series of books for children to empower them and to help them not be afraid and feeling helpless, but to be empowered to be superheroes during the COVID crisis, because I ran into a llario over there in Italy who was in the middle of lockdown and I wanted to make a difference. So
how did you run into llario?
He was.
You know. Yeah.
Go ahead, llario. Go ahead.
No, sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, Liz.
Go ahead, interrupt. Tell us how you met Liz.
Yeah, the situation in Italy was very very serious from the beginning. We are talking about last February. Okay, February, March, starting from February actually. So we were the first European nation going lockdown, and I was at the time I was working from Germany, so I was located in Germany, and I was just seeing the different point of views, because I was working with other people from other European countries, and very soon I started to realize that there was a need to help. And maybe something I had done in many years out of my passion for technology and imaging and coding and that kind of things, tech stuff. I could help somehow so I tried to reach scientists, virologists, microbiologists, and all those people that were working and trying to know more about this this alien virus, as we choose to call him, because actually it feels exactly like an alien invasion. Not much different. It's a new species on this planet that's threatening the whole humanity somehow. And even if it is affecting just a minimum part of the population, fortunately. But it's very, very scary for people. So people are scared about that. And so it happened that I proposed to try my technology against images that scientists were producing from electron microscopy and things like that. And I discovered that what was just a guess from me that my technology could help. Actually, it was true. I got appreciation from people that are very expert about the specific virus, coronavirus, and things like that. And from a Californian laboratory in San Diego, she told me that the neatness of my images that I was able to extract to zoom in, let's say, could just let them see very neatly all the details they needed to see. So that was the starting point. Then I published some posts, including some of my images and the comments from the scientists. And Liz noted that. She noticed that, and we were chatting a lot in those days. And I was telling her the situation in Europe, from my family here in Italy, and from myself in Germany, working with Spanish people, English people, French, and from all over Europe, and the different ways and different impacts that we were living. So even before choosing to come back to Italy to stay with my family during the lockdown, I was able to tell her a lot of stories about the real situation here in the time that was very this virus looked very far away from the U.S. point of view, you know. So she proposed me to help her writing this book by adopting at first one of my images, because she was looking for an image to represent this threat, this virus. And this is the very link between us at the beginning, but also the feeling that I was able to transfer to her about the situation here. It was very anticipated compared to what it happened after that. Some months after that in US. So this is the starting point, actually. And we were chatting a lot about all those stories, the real stories from real people, and some of them we choose to include in the book. Liz convinced me that some of those stories were very interesting and very specific to help us involve and empower children, because that one was the goal for the book. So we were thinking about thanks to Liz and her incredible work she's doing with young people and children especially. We were talking about the needs for children to feel involved and not put apart aside of the situation, just leaving it scared of what was happening, and just staring at adults, feeling the fear, you know. So in this way, we adopted some way to tell them the story of this alien virus that came to this earth to threaten us, but there were tools that we could adopt to defend ourselves and to fight back. And it was not only in the hands of the adults, but also children could help a lot, even by just remembering adult people of all the things that are important to remember. So physical distancing, the wearing the protective masks, especially when some group of people need to join, and things like that. So all those things in a story that's for children, it helped. I could say thousands of children all around the world because the book has been downloaded from more than 70 countries all around the world, and we count some almost 3,000 downloads of the book, and especially the first one, the very first one, and then Liz wrote also the other two. And another thing was that in those very days, my daughter, she's 18 years old, and she's pretty good at drawings, and she's an artist. She proposed to make the illustrations for the book, and she did. So the illustrations are done from by Serena, my daughter. So we joined together, and also Anna, the Liz's daughter, she edited a good part of the book and wrote her part of the story. So we are the four characters in the book, telling the story to the people, to young people, to the children, and trying to involve them, to make them special agents to help us all fight back this alien virus. Okay.
What a fascinating story. So let me say this again, and let me give you my short, pricey version of what you just shared. Liz was looking for a picture for one of her projects she was working on, which led her to your picture. And you are an IT person, but you have this unique ability to produce incredibly great pictures, and a laboratory in San Diego got in contact with you because they were so impressed with the quality of pictures that you're producing.
Exactly.
And so
because they recognize, they recognize the details.
The details of the picture.
Yes.
Jennylyn, he won't say this, but it's like a brand new science. I mean, it's like there is nothing in existence like what he does. Nothing. Anyway.
So he gave us the modest version. Why don't you tell us the truth?
Well, I saw when I had saw this image, and he had asked he wanted people to help him share and find virologists. Well, I'm really outgoing and connector, and Mama Liz jumping in there helping everybody. And so I said, okay, I'll help you. Let me help you connect people and things. And I'm also an old computer nerd. So when I saw what he did, I recognized how amazing it was. I mean, that's why I call him a modern day Einstein. People may not recognize it yet, but they will one day, just what it is that he can do. It's out of the world. It really is. You just have to see it to believe it. But so we got we got the books going, and
how many
I
books?
started I'm sorry.
How many books?
Well, the first one was the superhero book to allow the children to become superheroes in the fight against COVID. And then I saw the need. I mean, it was all about taking care of yourself. And I'm like, as it went on, I'm like, we need to get out of ourselves and start thinking about the people that are the first responders and the ones out helping, having to work in banks and grocery stores and things. And I'm like, let's turn this out some. And so the second one was random acts of kindness, so that they could begin to think about, like there was a little girl over in Italy who called the police station and read them this really nice thank you letter. And she's just a little tiny thing, and it touched everybody's heart. And so that kind of inspired it. And I'm like, kids everywhere need to be, because when you sit and just think about yourself, and about if again, you become introverted, self-thinking. And I'm like, let's let them start thinking about other people and teach them how to be kind to people that are out there. And so we gave them some ideas of things to do. And so that was the second book. We have a third one coming out today. And it's going back to the world, because there's a whole new mindset on how to go back to the world safely, because what people want to do, when they release you to go back out, is just to go back to the way you were, and you can't do that. You have to have it's a brand new world. And so, you got to teach the kids, and the kids teach the adults the right thing to do, and that's the reason I empowered my little superhero army, because I know how kids are, and you tell them, this is what you need to do, and they do it. Adults are like, well, let me think about it and decide if I want to do it. But then you have this little one saying, but why are we going out when we don't need to? Or why aren't we wearing masks? And so the kids empowered the adults, and the adults we had so many messages thanking us because it empowered the adults. Yeah. Suddenly they didn't feel out of control anymore. And so the next one's going back out to the world, and I have 2 more that I'm not going to announce them yet, but I've got 2 more because I've got to take care of every phase of COVID and what it does. And then after those are finished, we're going to make actually a hard copy, and all these are free. You can go to llariotariello.com and get all the translated copies, because his international server could handle all these languages and people hitting him from all over the world, and mine in America didn't do so well. So we have a covidops.info website, but it really doesn't have all the different translations. But there's so many different phases of COVID, and every country is in a different phase, and then they get in one phase and they go back to a last phase. And so kids need to know that. So we're gonna, when it's all done, said and done, there's gonna be a COVID Chronicles that has the whole story of what happened during this season, because it's historical and hopefully never happens again. And it's nice to have your little freebie, on your computer, but to have a hardbound copy that you can keep and go back and remember those times and the lessons we learned, I think is important. And so that's what we're doing with the book.
Yes, it is.
Fascinating. Yeah. Brilliant, guys. I think it's really great because for so many children, it's such a scary thing. It's affecting the whole world, and their parents do. Children growing up sometimes have their own fears amongst themselves, but the parents are going along with their lives. And so that gives the children a sense of safety. But when the parents are also being affected, it's a different ballgame. So I'm really grateful to both of you for putting this out there. And I'm hoping that my show will help to further promote it. But
thank you.
Must come back to you, Llario, and ask you what makes your pictures so different? Because as you were telling me the story, I was envisioning a camera. You point it a certain way, you adjust the lenses a certain way, and depending on how you do all that will determine the result that you get in the picture.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
I want you to tell us. I mean, if in telling me you're giving away your secrets, then don't. Just
don't worry. Even if I tell you the whole story, it's very difficult to reproduce it without my experience and my knowledge. It's just because I've been working in my free time all over my life, I'd say, because since I started with my passion for coding and programming computer softwares and so on. So I did it for my job as a profession, doing a lot of amazing things. But besides, in my free time, I was using my my interest and my passion and my abilities to treat images in a very peculiar way. I invented. You have to understand this point. So it's something that that's even perceived as impossible. From the traditional approach to images, people are not inclined to believe it's possible. But I demonstrated it is, because I did it on a target that even myself, I don't know that target so well. So I'm not a biologist nor a virologist or something like that. So they had to tell me what I was showing. So I don't know if I'm explaining this.
No, you are. So you took the image.
So they as experts, they told me, oh, you are showing exactly this part of the virus, and we weren't able to see it that clearly. That's a small little inner part of the virus, and that's that spike that's outside this virus. And you have to know that the virus is a very tiny thing, very tiny. So actually, I started from electron microscopy images. So obviously, there is another technology that's a traditional one, and it's very important to get to that level of that scale, you know. But after that, even after producing those images, and those are very good, but you cannot go further. But with my technology, yes, you can do it. So because I can show hidden information. That's the that's the trick. And actually, I did it out of.
Interrupt you. The way you do it is by simply writing a code.
It's about treating images in hundreds of different ways. So I invented hundreds of algorithms that I combine. I'm able to combine to obtain results like that. And it comes from my knowledge of the physics behind the light and sound and the interaction between waves. So this is the basic of the foundation of the thing. But it took me almost 30 years to come to such a result, you know. So
and Jennylyn, you can go to his website and actually see some of these images.
Yeah,
and they are absolutely beautiful. I mean, they're like art. Yeah. They're so beautiful. They really are.
Would the average person know what they're looking at?
No.
No. I have to explain this.
Medical professionals will probably be able to appreciate these images a lot more than someone like me, because I may look at it and go, oh, abstract art looks great.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, you can sell it as art. It's beautiful.
I thought about it. Yeah, it's a possibility.
But another thing, though, is it's not just with this. It's like this science goes into a lot of other business areas that businesses have access to something they do not have access to right now. And it's just like,
what I was gonna say, he's like a best kept secret. Don't all doctors want to find this guy? All radiologists, all medical technologists and research. I mean, they need you. How are you getting the information out there that you have mastered this art that is so necessary now, especially with the COVID vaccine?
Actually, I'm looking for business partners, investors, and this kind of partnerships. But it's not that easy, actually, because I've met a lot of people that try to just to put their hands on my technology without anything. And actually, I choose to give my free time to help in this COVID fight, but not my tech. I'm not giving away my technology. Obviously, not for free.
You can't do that. I mean, everyone tries to make something off of, except Jennylyn. Everyone tries to make some money because, you know, it's time. Time is money. So, and people have to live. So,
and it really is. I mean, like, you know, when I see the images, it's like the difference between looking at an X-ray and looking at an MRI image. It's that different. I mean, it is that different. You have to realize how, I mean, it's just so far beyond anything anyone can do. And that's why it's a whole new science, a whole new invention. And, you know, looking back, I know years from now, we're going to look back and it'll be something that will be maybe used, and it'll be like, oh, I remember when, you know, I heard about this thing.
Well, 80% of my friends are doctors, and I'm going to be sending this video to them all.
I see.
I'll be sending this video along because my goal and why I spend time with people like you, guys sharing your stories is I want to make the world a better place. And if all I can, the only way I can do it is by sharing wonderful people, then I'm doing my job, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
Down
Exactly.
you
And
are.
he has this huge heart for goodwill.
I can tell.
And that's why he was just doing this on his, I mean, just doing all this free while he was working. He would work during the day and then work on this at night,
At
and
night. Yeah.
yeah. And then when we did the book, I mean, like he just jumped in with both feet and was getting it all over, and he knew how to work everything to get it out more on LinkedIn, and he had a lot of connections. It was just a heart of goodwill to help people. It was like, I mean, he really wanted to get it out. And so behind all that he does is really this goodwill. Um it's not selfish, and it really is a heart to make a difference. And that's what kind of sets him apart, I think, from a lot of people, in my opinion anyway.
Okay, it's a great
Thank you, Liz.
valued opinion. And
Yeah, yeah.
we are almost out of time, and I want to make sure I give each of you an opportunity to leave a message for the world or anybody watching this show. So why don't we start with you, Liz?
Regarding COVID, I would say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Empower your children to not be afraid. Find out the right things to do and do it. And we're all in this together, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to see a difference. But, it's changed the world so much. Priorities have changed. And, my big thing is living every day like it's my last. And it's like the whole world has changed their priority during this time. But, that would be my suggestion, is don't lose the things that you've learned during this season when you've been stuck with your family all the time and wondering if people are going to live or die. Keep those things in your heart out of the COVID season.
Ilario, same question, Mr. Genius.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. What I want to say to people is to please never stop trying to understand things better, because even when we think that we know it all, there's more. There's always more. And another thing is, be kind with each other, please. There is there are so many people that are forgetting to be kind to people, and to keep the human level of the communication, of the interaction in any interaction, very especially at business relationships. There are people that are forgetting kindness, and this is not a good thing. Because after our very short time on this earth, we are not living very much. So it's better to try to be kind with people. So those are my two messages. So never stop trying to understand things better, and be kind with people.
Ilario and Liz, this has been such a privilege for me. I feel that there's a record-breaking some gift that this gentleman here is going to be bringing to the world in terms of helping science. And so I am very grateful that I had the opportunity to have you on my show. Later on, when you're rich and famous, I'm going to say, he was on my show. But before we wrap this, I want to ask you, what is the situation like in Italy today?
Yeah.
COVID. What is it like in Italy today?
We are in a quasi lockdown again in Italy, because the numbers are increasing. I'd say, just looking at the real numbers, I'd say that's not that tough as before. But the way they are presenting the situation, the media and so on, so they are putting much more fear in all that stuff. So people are getting more scared than necessary. It's something very strange. There is also even a rivalry between regions, between because they choose to assign a color to regions, and they are discussing if I have to be green or yellow or red because of the numbers. You're counting numbers differently and so on. So, but actually, from my friends that are working in hospitals and ICUs, I can say that okay, the beds are increasing, the patients are increasing, but they are not at the level the media are telling people. Not yet, and I hope they are not going to be. But obviously, the disease is there, so the virus is circulating. But we have to keep in mind that this is a virus, and the virus is going to colonize all the earth. So it's going to affect any one of us. And fortunately, more than 95% of people are not going to suffer serious symptoms. So this is very important. But still, any one of us is exposed, and fortunately, the vast majority is not going to suffer from this. But actually the society is suffering because of the way we treat health, the public health. So we have not enough beds in hospitals. We have not enough people. We have not enough money, not enough funds. So we need to slow down the spread of this disease. So this is the biggest problem, because the impact is against the public health system in all the countries. So and each country reacts in a different way, and we are experiencing different results. But actually, nobody succeeded stopping the virus at the border, because it's impossible. It's a virus. It's a virus.
You guys,
it circulates. Full stop. Okay.
No, it's okay. We have run out of time. We probably need to schedule another segment. I would like to do that down the road to see how your technology is coming along, and if you're making connections with the right people to bring it to its, to use it for its full benefit that it can bring to medical research. So I am so grateful again to both of you, and Llario, for sharing your expertise and this great technology that you're mastering. Liz, for your thoughtfulness on thinking of the children and the books you've both published. And let's stay in touch. And I'm so grateful I got the chance to do this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you
Liz,
much for watching.
For your huge heart also.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Liz, for your huge heart also.
Yes, thank you both. And thank you all for watching Conversations with Jennylyn. When a conversation is all you need to be inspired, and I'm sure these two wonderful people have inspired you. And so I will see you next time, and try to get your hands on their books. Where can they find your books real quickly?
llario.com.
Okay. And I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hold on.
Broadcasting from Silicon Valley, California, this is Conversations with Jennylyn.